Hey guys, so coming back on, we are wrapping up this fun tutorial that we've been doing with our paper, UV resin, and different mediums that we've been using. So I'm going to come on here, and this is going to be our cleanup and make the earrings or pendants episode. So I sort of did a cleanup of my space, which is nice. I did find something kind of cool. This is like a piece of paper with some of the resin. I must have cut off. It has some resin on it. It's really pretty. I don't know what I would do with it. It's probably just trash, but you know, you find those treasures when you're cleaning up, right? All right, so this is probably, I was thinking about it, I'm like, it's probably kind of my least favorite part is to do the dremeling and clean up of everything and put them together. But you know what? It's part of the process. We got to do it. Otherwise, you would just have a bunch of pieces. So, you know, here we go. So I'm going to just move this out of the camera view. I said I cleaned up, but there's like mica all over this. But that's okay because we're going to get this so dusty. We have our Dremel. I've got my sanding paper on here. So I'm going to go probably a 2 because this is pretty thick. And you're just going to want to watch your fingers. And it's going to be a little loud. So you're just going to have to bear with that. And I like to feel. That always tells me, like, do I need to go more down, kind of where it's at. This hasn't been finished on the back. I'm assuming maybe it was still wet when we, or I was just tired and didn't dome the back yet. So I'm going to kind of smooth that out where I'd cut it. I think that was it. I was tired at the end of the series. Alright. So we'll have to do a little bit to get this one complete. We will need to do some resin on the back because we cannot leave this guy paper exposed. Just would not be a good finished product. That color would maybe transfer. There would just be all kinds of issues with it. Just watch your fingers so you don't end up, you know, taking layers of skin off. It's very dusty. I'm not going to worry about cleaning it up until I'm done using the Dremel because, whoop, see, that's why you got to be careful. Because we're just going to continue to get dust everywhere. So, this one is going to need a doming on top. It's definitely got some lips going here. I'm going to just, since we're going to, I'm going to kind of Dremel down the whole spot a little just because it was very pointy. And I don't want to have that working against us. Yeah, see? That's so good. I always forget. I should put gloves on when I do this, just so that I don't have the dust all over my fingers. But with as many as we're doing, I'd probably get like super sweaty. So maybe wouldn't be the best idea. So these edges are getting scuffed up pretty good just with cleaning them. So what I would say is once we dome the backs or the fronts or both, whatever's needed, depending on the piece, we'll probably put like a paint layer around the edge, probably an oil-based paint so that it gives it that finished look and we don't worry about it coming off. That way it will have a nice clean complete it look, and you're not trying to paint resin around the edges. I'm just trying to get that somewhat down and even so that when I do put the paint on, it gives an even look. Oh, goodness. There we go. I was like, man, there's this weird buzzing noises because I put it fully down on my workspace. This one really doesn't need much. I'm going to go just very gently around the edges where the paper is. Ooh, that was an awful kind of sound. But really, reminds me of the dentist, that noise. So, no go. I didn't even notice that my last tutorial that I recorded, if I had chipped my tooth or not yet. I told you all that. I think I did. Chipped a chunk off where I had a childhood episode of it. Yeah, that's fine. That's what it reminds me of, is getting toothpicks. That noise. Yeah. Okay, how dusty my fingers have gotten. This one's very pointy right here too. And where we'll be putting a layer on top, I'm not worried about scuffing the top because we'll get a layer of resin on it. Also mainly has paper. So I'm just trying to get kind of an even coat all the way around Dremel. So like I said, when we paint it, it will give you a more fluid look. I keep bumping that part of my finger. I gotta be careful because I don't want to take a layer of skin off. That would not be an enjoyable thing. So this is probably why I don't love this part of UV resin. I feel like it takes a lot to get to the finished product on jewelry. Like, people just don't realize that, oh, that is. How much time and energy goes into it. It's like, oh, it's an easy craft. Well, it is. Relatively. All's relative. It's like, I don't even feel like I've made a dent in our pieces that we made. I'm going to turn this up to 3. I think my battery's getting a little on the lowish side. And this one has a big extra piece of resin. Because you can see how it's getting the top, but it's not getting the bottom part here. So now we're finally... Yay! Sort of the same over here. But do remember, you can always take off, but you cannot add as easily. So, be careful. I have accidentally sometimes made it too divoted in a spot because I was like, oh, I gotta get this off. to break and, one, get my hand to break, but two, wipe my hands off. Goodness. These little rectangles are kind of hard to do. You catch it just wrong and it's like it flies off. Also, the edges do get warm because of the friction that you're creating. So, if you're sensitive to heat, be aware of that. Alright, we got 5 more of this round of them. And that doesn't count. There it is. That's gracious. Like my hand's kind of cramping from holding these itty bitty pieces. Okay, let's get this. I know I missed a spot on that one side, so I'll get it. I'm just trying to take a thin edging of the paper off so that when I put the resin down, it's going to really adhere and seal that paper in. Okay. So yeah, I think I'll finish these. Oh, there's another one hiding. Okay, we're down to 5 now. I'm going to try to finish this straight. And then, oh, we're not going to because that just died on us. Alright. So, we're going to take a break to plug that in. It doesn't take long to charge. It comes with its own little cord that plugs into it, and then it's on a USB. So I'll plug it into my USB charger down here, and we'll work on cleaning these up, and then we'll see how it is and see if we can finish, or if I'm going to have to add an episode or record a second half or something. I'm kind of, I don't know about y'all, but I'm kind of ready to wrap this series up just so that we can move to the next. Not that I don't like doing this series, it's just I'm kind of getting a little maybe bored. Not sure if that's like the best word for it, but you know, we've been doing this one a while. So this paper towel, all I did was spray some water on my workspace, and then it's just damp enough that I'm just kind of wiping these off from the dust and everything, just to give them that. And they're going to need these backs done, and then I always like to do my backs first, and then we'll flip them and see if there's anything that needs to be done on the front to finish them off. I know some of them needed a front coat, but we'll kind of just see. So what we'll do is we're going to stick these on some UV resin tape so that they're not moving around on us when we paint on the resin on the back side. And I'm going to show you that process, because I think I've shown it in others, or maybe haven't shown it how I put it together. So some combination there of ripping our paper towel. Okay. Good thing that was the last one. Alrighty. Whew, just feel all dusty. Alright, so I'm just gonna slide these out. I'm gonna check where I'm at on my camera. Okay, good. Y'all are full on in. That's good. Just wanted to make sure. We're gonna need our UV light plugged in. I wasn't sure we were going to need it. I forgot these hadn't been done on the back side, but it's all good. It's all good. I'm going to put this on one of these black things so that you guys can hopefully see it a little bit better. And then what I do, fancy here. Not really. Nothing crazy. I lost a couple screws to something, not in my head. Just to clarify that. I lost a couple screws to a resin mixer that I was like, oh, I'll put this together at some point, and I finally was like, I'm gonna put that together so that when we do some pours soon, we can use it. Well, do you think I can find the screws that go to that now? Nope. Cannot. So I saw the stir stick for that, and I was like, oh, well, maybe those two screws are somewhere over with that, but they're not. Anyway, all right, these are my plastic popsicle sticks that I have for stirring resin. What I like to do is I like to take my UV tape and just connect our good old popsicle sticks. And we're just going to take our scissors and cut that up. And I'm going to do this in 3 rows so that we have plenty of room, essentially, to put all of our pieces that we're doing, because they'll all fit under the light that way. So just basically stretching that across. This just gives edging to our UV resin. And it doesn't matter that it was semi-stuck to that, because it's not it doesn't need to be overly sticky for these to stay in place. Now I'm a little bit wavy. I didn't get great, but it's okay. It's gonna ultimately be just fine. The biggest thing is just holding these somewhat level and flat and in place so that we can put on the UV resin and then slide it under the lamp, essentially. So we have quite a few here, and so I think that's great. I'm going to go ahead and pull our tray. I'm going to slide that under. See how they're stuck? Like, whoop. Put that on here so that we can work with that. And then we're going to use our Let's Resin UV resin, high viscosity. Okay, I put away all my tools for painting on this resin. I'm going to grab this tool. It's got a nice pointed end and then a nice kind of slant pointed, and then this one, which is more, you know, rectangle flat per se, and that's going to help us. This way you're not trying to hold these little pieces and move the resin around. The tape is helping hold them and be your hands for you. They will not stick fully to the tape, so they should peel right off of that when we're done curing. You can actually cure resin right to the tape and it should peel right off. So like if you had resin drip down, which we hope to not have, but that's possible. We've got some stringies kind of happening. Now because there is paper on these, you'll notice it's starting to, maybe you'll notice, I don't know if the camera will pick it up fully, but they are absorbing some of the resin that I've put down. So we may have to add more, but we're going to start with that. And the idea is you want to get to the edge, but not over the edge. And basically you want the entire surface to get it coated and covered. And this group might take 2 layers just because it is going to have that paper absorb quite a bit. Look how bright this one came out after we put resin on it. This one could be really pretty either way. Either side. Probably should have done that one last, just in case the color transferred to my brush, but it didn't. Silicone brushes are such a blessing when we're working with UV resin in these small pieces. And truthfully, when I do pours, I use my silicone brushes for a lot of stuff. So we definitely get a set. They're not overly expensive. Find the ones that you enjoy and like to use that work for, you know, whatever art you're doing, whatever that might look like for you. You know, there's all kinds of ones out there. And don't be afraid to look at like nail art silicone brushes and nail art even stickers or gems. I mean, the possibilities for this craft are really and truly endless. I actually do know what series is coming out next because I have been working to get a few ahead pre-recorded so that I have some, so that when my family and I go on vacation this summer, we won't miss a beat. You'll still get your weekly episode. And I'll tell you what, it is mind-boggling what we're going to be doing. And it's very exciting. So I think all these look pretty good. I do think this one especially might need another layer. It's pretty, it's getting absorbed in. If you've ever worked with woodworking, which my husband is the woodworker in our household, it's like when you're staining a piece of wood, it just like sucks in all that stain and just absorbs it. That's what the paper's doing. It's just sucking all that in. Alright, so we do have our Let's Resin UV light. We're going to do 2 minutes. It is going from top and bottom. However, the bottom light's probably not going to go through the pieces to cure what we just put on. But, you know, it doesn't hurt, is what I would say. I would suggest cleaning your brush in between rounds of using while it's curing. So this is just a piece of paper towel with a little bit of rubbing alcohol and just wiping that off, and voila, it's clean. And that's the brush that, like, I pulled out, you know, a 2-edged, and then this one. This is the one that I really enjoyed. So I'm going to just put the other one away because I don't think I need it. This one worked out really good. So that's the one we're rolling with. And then, of course, the 2 minutes. It's the longest darn stinking 2 minutes ever. Always. Always, always. I'm like, I've done something so weird. Seems like the way it like crystalled. Oh, there's like a big bubble in there. That's why. Huh. That's cool looking. They all came out so cool. I'm really excited by these. It's probably hard to tell with that light going, but I love the color combo of these. They're really pretty. And then we get to pull out all the ones that we were labeled. These are so pretty and fun too. Jeez. Goodness gracious. So much fun. I'm like, there's so many fun things happening. Oh yeah, these are going to need another layer just because I can see where we ended up with some dips where the resin was absorbed into the paper more in one area than another. And so we've got some dips that we want to do another round just to get these evened out. So this one's a little dippy. This one has a big dip here. That one's not terrible. That one's definitely got some. That one had one of those funky bubbles. Yep, this one did. It's okay. And see, feeling is just honestly the best. That one's still a little tacky. It's probably because of the coloring, which is funny though, that one's not. All right, another round. So, as you saw when I put this on, I'm not doing a full coating with it. I'm using my tool to spread it around. Reason for that is if I were to cover this completely with just my container of resin, we'd be cleaning up edges for days because it would just run off the edge. So that's why I use the tool to take it to the edge. No need to try to speed up and not paint on just because of that reasoning. So, and I know that right now has some lines in it where my brush was, but I'm going to hope that by the time I come back around, it will naturally have gravitated towards itself and filled in those little gaps. And now that we have a smoother surface to work with than we did before because of the paper before, it goes pretty easy. And you got to be careful to not go on your edges, but as you can see, I'm kind of being a little bit wild with this. I don't have a ton of resin on these, so it's not like it's running amiss on us. There was a bubble. That's the one with that bubble. So I'm just trying to fill it in, let that absorb. Try to let that even itself out a little. I do not want you to be haphazard. That's looking good. Okay, good. Oh yes. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Okay. Oh, I didn't bring our tray out. And it looks good except this one. I've got a gap in the middle, which is funny. Because I always say resin pulls the middle, and that one it proved me wrong. It went, no, watch, we're going to pull away from the middle. Like, oh, okay. So 2 more minutes. I didn't need more alcohol in here because I had plenty of rubbing alcohol on that piece. So there's not a ton of resin on it. Alrighty. Eek. Then we'll flip these and see what needs to be done to the front side. And once that is done, then truthfully we could start putting pendants on these, or pieces to make them into pendants, and keep letting our Dremel charge. It's still red. I'll probably pull it before it's fully done, but this way at least I'm reading all the text messages from my daughter. Goodness. Summertime here and the kids go crazy. Crazy. I'm like, can we have structure again? I knew that that's probably terrible to say in a way, but I'm like, she's always at her friend's house right now, which is fine. I'm totally fine with that. It's fine. No, it really is fine. I just want her to be home at a certain time and just constantly begging, just a little more. Just a little more. I'm like, baby, you've been there all day. At some point, you have to come home to your family. You have not been adopted by them. But, you know, if you have kids, you know. Okay. These are looking good. I think they'll be ready. Oh, yeah. Perfect. a few little divoting things happening, but nothing that I'm like super worried about. A couple of these are still pretty tacky. So I'm wondering if they were sitting kind of outside of the range of the light. So I'm going to put that back in for another 2 minutes though. Yes, I know it's going to drive me crazy that it's going in for another 2 minutes, but it needs it. It's kind of one of those things. You got to do what you have to do. And here's the thing, like even if my Dremel was ready, I wouldn't want to Dremel while I'm resining because you saw all that dust. You don't want to get that in your resin because that would be gross. Yuck, yuck, yuck. So definitely don't want that. But it won't take long for this to whip on up for us and progress it along here. Oh, one more. I've been just going crazy looking for these darn stinking screws of mine. How in the world did I misplace them? But it was also during a time I was definitely cleaning. And that is a bad combination when you're trying to keep track of parts. I should have just put it together. But I didn't. I'm like, darn it is what I say to that. But, you know, you ever do something and you're like, golly, I should have done that differently, or I know better, or why didn't I do it this way? And you can go through those scenarios 1,000 times and it doesn't change the fact that you're in the spot you're in. That's me. That's my mind. I'm just like, I have gone through this scenario so many times and I just need to go, okay, it is what it is. It's fine. It's all going to be okay. It's not the end of the world. But in my world, it's the end of the world right now. Alright. So, these peel off. And we're just flipping them over. And re-stick them on so that we can do the front side. I say we're just peeling them off. They're being a little bit more stubborn than I'd like them to be. So this one actually is golden. I'm not going to touch it on the front. It looks really good. I don't think there's anything I would do with it. It's ready. And the same goes for this one. So they're ready to be painted on the side and put together for whatever they're going to come. This one needs some help. This one I think is good too. I should have been checking these better. This one's bumpy, so I want to get that one cleaned up. This one has like a cloudy fingerprint. I'm going to see if putting a dome on it will help. Yeah, and that one I'm going to dome. Okay. So far, those 5. This one's really got stuck. Okay, this one is fine. I don't know if I should turn those into earrings. They match, but they don't match because this one ended up with such bubbles. So I think they will be turned into pendants or extra charms just because they're not as matchy. I know these two, this one has some bubbles in it, but I think they look more conducive as matchy than these do. So, okay. I don't know. Had to work that out right then. Not really, but while these are curing, we can start getting those ones finished. This one's needs quite a bit just because it is got such a raised edge on it. So that's why I put quite a bit more in it, just so that we could fill it up. Now, we're going to have to drill out our holes anyway, so I'm not really concerned about filling in the hole with some resin because guess what? The paper covered the back side of that hole anyway, so we're going to have to drill that out no matter what. So that I would not stress over at all. because we're already going to be drilling it out. Wow, that really popped now that I put that on there. It like really gave it a... This one's got some, I think they're, yeah, they're bubbles from the previous layer when I made it. Now it's trying to go all fill up in that hole. Like, I don't need you all in that hole. I need you on top of the piece. But again, I'm not stressed about it for the sake of worried that my hole's going to be filled in, because honestly, it's filled in on the back. So I'm not worried. I feel like this one will need another layer because it was so deep of a edging, but it's a good... Wow, that one's really pretty. The light is hitting it stunningly. Okay, so 2 minutes on that. And while that is going, I'm going to go ahead and start edging these. So these ones, I'll pull them out of that blue light. I know you guys can't see. These ones, because they have just kind of like a goldy tint to them, I think I want to do the gold paint on it. My open one. So this is just an oil, I do that all the time. I'm like, it's not just a, geez. This is an oil marker, uni paint marker. And it has a pretty big tip on it, so you just want to be aware of that. And you want to be careful to, like, the back would be fine for me to put paint on, but I don't want to get the front. So I just like to do nice, smooth lines so that I can make sure, and it dries really fast. Like, it's still wet right now, but it's going to dry really, really fast for us. And this is going to help hide our flaws. Now, it does smell like spray paint, just as an FYI. If you're sensitive to that stuff, definitely would do it outside or wear some protective gear. And that is really all she needs to give that look. And look how it, okay, I gotta set it down. I can't pick it up, but it like really framed it. That is super cool looking. I mean, let me make sure that the camera is coming into focus for you guys so that you can see this. See how you can see through the resin and see the paint on the other side. So it gives it this bordered look. And that is really cool. I think it's dry so I can pick it up now, but let's see. See how it gives that bordered look? It's hard to see on that black, but in the camera is struggling to focus on the fine details and the sparkle. That wasn't fully dry. Okay, just kidding. Let me see if I can, if I put fingerprints or need to touch up. Just right here. There's a spot right there that I want to get. Okay. So that's the hardest part, again, is that we're dealing with, oh, I didn't Dremel this one on this side. Huh. That's funny. I was like, this is going on totally different. Oh, this one just must not have needed it like that one did, because it's rolling. It's just very smooth. And because I didn't Dremel it and get it totally even, there was probably a bubble there. So it's going to show that imperfection. But that's okay. It is resin and it is art. It's going to have imperfections. Okay. Look at how pretty. I love it. I love it. Okay. So those are super sweet. Like they could be an accent on a keychain. You know, all kinds of things. Okay, this one's a little rough up here. I think one more layer. Same there. This one's probably good. And this one's good. And this one needs just a smidge more, but pretty good. So we're going to take that one out. Didn't really... I think my mica was in the bottom of that. That's why. It's not really a smudge. It's just where extra mica was. But it's okay. We just had to, you know, figure that out. So really just these three need some extra love. Not too bad. Oh, this is getting low. Oh, now I'm stuck. I was like, I can't get my fingers out. I'm stuck. So this is definitely going to be a two-parter to put all this together just because we haven't even touched those others. I might try to get a little bit more Dremeled here in this episode, but we're still going to have so much to do because we still have to put all the attachments on them. Not embellishments, but like, you know, your C-rings or your triangle clamps, whatever is going to be put to help get it. And we have to put holes in them. And it just always takes longer than I think it should or is going to take, this process. And I think that's probably why I don't love it so much, is because I feel like it always takes longer than I think it should. So, anyhow. Alright, I do think that one of these I want some silver on. So let me find my open silver one. Nope. Nope. Where are you? There you are. So you always want to shake them because they do have little beads in them to shake. And they are awful to open, I find. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. So, I don't know on that one. But this one I definitely want silver. I think this one is calling silver to me. Ooh, look at that, how pretty that is. Not sure if you can tell because the blue light coming off of our UV light, but it is, to me, silver pretty. There was a bubble there on the edge, clearly, because you can see the imperfection. But if we make this into a pendant, our clasp that's going to go in the hole is going to probably hide that imperfection. Alright, silver or gold? Kind of has some gold-esque in it, so I think you're going to be gold. I think I want you to be silver. And you to be gold. Okay. I think either or would be really pretty on some of these, so probably doesn't ultimately matter, but you know. Whew. That light going off makes me feel better. Like, okay. It's like, you know, when you've had so much noise. Oh my goodness. We live in the South. Speaking of noise, we live in the South, and the 17-year cicadas have been out, and they are just deafening loud. I'm like, Jesus. I'm like, can y'all go back into ground? It's been so long, it feels like, and that y'all have been out there just making their noise. And if you have never heard of a cicada, look it up, listen to it, And imagine that basically like happening 24/7. You walk outside and it is so loud. It's loud in our house. My daughter, my oldest, was like, I can hear him in my room. All the way in my room. I'm like, well, yeah, they're just behind the house in the trees. And she's like, but in my room, they're so loud. I'm like, imagine what it is when you step outside. She was, her best friend goes to Japan in the summer, and so she flew to Japan this week. Her best friend did, and so she's texting her best friend today videos and sound clips of the cicadas out back. All she would do is step on the back stoop and record, but it was funny. I was like, oh my goodness. But they're so loud. And when you're driving, you can even hear them in the car. And when you hit those like wooded areas where they love the trees, the wooded areas, when you hit that on the side of the road, it gets just so loud. Even, you know, if you have your windows closed, and if you have your windows open, like, oh my God. Like, that's insane. Yeah, these are looking so good, y'all. So, I'll bring those closer here in a minute. We're going to let those ones dry. I'm going to do silver, silver, and gold. So, gold, silver. Oh, actually, that's my daughter finally getting him. The dogs are like, I'm going to go, we might keep this, actually. It might be good for the next round of those. I'm going to turn it kind of upside down in my space so it doesn't end up all dusty when we go to do that. But at least, you know, we might get another use out of it. I have plenty, so it's not the end of the world, but you know me, I don't like to waste if I don't have to. If I can reuse it for one more round, then I feel like I truly got my purpose out of it. Which, I mean, honestly, I'm going to get my purpose out of it already, but... So yeah, what I was saying with that blue light, though, it's like when you've heard a noise for so long and it finally stops and you're like, oh, I can hear the voices in my head again. Or, you know, it was like, oh, I can see the regular light again. That's what I felt like. Kind of funny. Oh, the painting, there's something about this part of it, though. Painting the edges and, like, cleaning up them do give them such a finishing, just like chef's kiss of finished look and appearance. It truly is amazing to me how when we do this, that does happen. That's absolutely something I do love about this process, is getting that finished look. So we could have painted clear resin around the edges to make them look smooth and cleaned up. But it's a lot of work to do that, to get it detailed and cured, and it never fully looks right to me, so forth. So I have found that I love my oil pens, paint pens, and they just do wonders. And truthfully, like with these little pieces, it's just easier. It's not as time consuming to paint an oil paint on than it would be to paint resin around. And the resin is clear, so you're not getting it bordered with a color, which in this situation, the way these are, it really frames in our colors in the piece and gives your focal point really on that piece, opposed to it just getting lost in the array of the background, I think is how I would put it. Okay, let's put our lid on our resin too so I don't forget that. And then let's bring this up closer to y'all so that we can see. And I'm going to pick them up. I'm going to start with kind of the first one I did, just so that you guys can see. See how these edges look more finished, being bordered. and it gives that frame look. It just really makes that piece pop. Look at this one. See? So you can tell where there's was a bump in the resin. That's okay. But look at the piece in general. See how it gives that framed look? I know it's hard because there's such fine detail in these. This one's really neat. Try not to get the light to hit it. See the bubbles that it kind of created? Don't mind if you get a glimpse of fingerprints, but yeah, the bubbles in it. Look at that. And then see how the gold is just accenting it? It really just helps. Here's this one. This is the one that has some cool bubbles in it. See, bubbles aren't always bad. Gives you a cool effect. But I just don't feel like I compared those as a set of earrings because they just are so different. This one, it looks like it has that smudge, but it really is just the way the mica was. It's also very pretty. I think the silver does it justice because it just has more silver tones in the mica. Look at this one. Look at those colors. I really am liking the mica powder on them. Look at that. It's got some cool bubbles in it that just really give it a neat look too. And the gold just really finishes it. This one had some gold tones in it too, but I do like the silver on it. It's got some bubbles, but I like the wisp of that darker blue and then almost this silver gray. And this one's super unique. It's got like purples and greens if you look at it from certain angles. It's got some gold or yellow. A lot of the blue, gray. So, yeah. I'm loving how that's coming out. Oh, here's this one. Where did it come from? It didn't get resin on the back yet. Okay. Huh. Cool. Well, you get put over there. I don't, maybe it was underneath this that entire time. Goodness gracious. So these ones are ready for their accessories to be able to hang them. So I am going to have this little trinket dish in my workspace. It's resin. That's cute, right? Look how fun the bottom is. It needs a, I haven't put it anywhere because it needs a coat on here to catch the lip so it's not edged up like that. So I'm going to stick those in there so that when we go to put hooks on all those, we can. Then I'm going to pause y'all so I can use the restroom and get a drink, and then I will be back and let's do some more dremeling. We're still red right now at this exact moment, but let's see when I pop back here in just a few minutes. Maybe it won't be red. Maybe. Probably will be. But even still, I think it will have had enough juice that maybe we can just get these all cleaned up with the Dremel, and then next time we'll need the Dremel for drilling our holes, but we can get these ready to UV resin and get kind of to the next level pretty quickly. All right, so hang tight. Well, you won't notice anything because I'm going to pause the video. Of course, you don't have to have an intermission, but if you want to pause it so you can run to the restroom right now, go for it. All right, we'll be right back. Okay, well, hope everybody had a good little restroom break, or Coke or tea or water or whatever you're drinking. Hopefully you got a good big sip of that. Alright, we're still red, but like I said, I think we'll have enough to get more of these done, at least. So, oh, that one has a big chunk. Get the dremeling going. Definitely nice and thick right there. So, yeah, nice, thick, And then the paper on this one is so thick, I am going to do that edging a little bit just to take that off. And then so it's like that. And then we'll get this side. We try to go over. Yep, that's, oh my goodness, it's these rectangle ones that get me. But you can see where I've been. And I'm just going to take that layer up. Okay. Then, oh, this one's got a good chunk too. So it just takes a little bit more force when you have a big chunk like that, just to bring it back down where you need it. Also, turning it up a notch will help. But the vibrations of it, didn't I? Take that off, that paper layer. I mean, obviously I don't want the whole paper to come off because that is our colored part. But I just, a little angled layer is fine. Kind of take some space out with it. Get all too crazy with that paper. Yep. So that's a good thing to know, though. That took that paper right off right there. And now we don't have any colorant there, which in this situation where it's at is fine. But I want to be careful and not take any more off because clearly that is an issue. That one's ready to go. This is the one that we dyed on. Round ones go flying. Square ones try to go off the edge and get your fingers. That's looking good. Just gonna take nice thin edge of the paper. Cool. Alright, we'll get 2 more for sure then. Oh, not a big chunk right there. Oh, got it there. The hard part with the round ones too is trying to keep the shape without losing it. So definitely moving your Dremel back and forth to avoid too much in one area is important. You don't want to carve out a whole new shape. Oh, we're getting dusty again. That looks good. Let's just take a thin round on our paper side. Alright. So give me just a few minutes. I'm going to dust off my hands and then we'll start opening those up. And, sorry. Had to get a child to bed and dust myself off a smidge though. Really until I wash my hands, you know. So these ones, I'm going to check them out. See if they need any. This one needs just, yeah. Okay, needs a smidge. But then I'm going to put them back in the bag so that we can kind of keep track. So I'm just going to get a little bit of water on paper towels so that I can clean these up when we get them done. It's just an ever so slight with these edges. And since I'll probably border them with the paint, I'm just going to go ahead and scuff up the whole part right there so that when we border it, it's all even. Okay. Okay. Well, these are going to look really pretty. Yeah, there's enough on this one that it definitely needed to be kind of edged up. It really doesn't hurt, truthfully. I always warn about that, taking a layer of skin off, because it makes me nervous. But honestly, I say that and watch me do it to where it really hurts. But anytime I've done it, it's so quick. It doesn't do anything except scare me. Make me jump. I'm like, oh. Like, okay. Sometimes the back gets a little rough, so I'm just kind of, you know, getting those corners and edges so that they're not so sharp. Alrighty. I was like, I need a full off button. Doesn't have a full off button. I mean, you gotta click through the settings. Okay, so wipe those ones off and then we put them in the bag. But look at how pretty. I forgot because this feels like so long ago at those. These were paint pens with the thin paper. Whew. I like those ones. I do. I was like, I gotta make sure I keep track of which ones have been done and which haven't. This is paint pens on thick paper straight into the resin. They're pretty too. Goodness. I really just like how the color on them. I was trying to figure out where the line kind of was. Like, If you just kind of tap down on your corners, that will round those out so they're not so abundantly sharp. Okay. Looking pretty. I am liking it. These ones are a lot harder just as far as detail because they're so small. I'm just holding them. They don't take super long, I don't feel like, but they're just like, you're so teeny tiny. Again, the colors on these are just vibrant, and I love the uniqueness of them. Alright, which ones are these? These are marker added to the resin. Oh yeah, these are pretty too. Gives a whole different look. Oh, this one had a weird backing thing. Oh, we had like a bubble. It's probably a bubble or something that just reacted funky. I might have to put a little bit of resin there, but maybe not. They look cool. Okay. Yeah, those are pretty too. Different look though, for sure. It just amazes me what all can be done because you can get a different look. Obviously with different material, which I understand and comprehend that. I get it. But it just really is amazing. And no two will be alike. This is marker, thick paper, resin harden first, then rub off. So we rubbed the paper off of these ones. I'll show the front side when we get done. I didn't really look at these ones. I just jumped right in. I was like, let's Dremel them. Let's get them done. See how I like swing that one around, but I caught it. Whoa, y'all, that one went flying at me. It jumped. I thought it was going to land behind me, but it landed on my table, surprisingly. Like, whoa, okay. So, note to self. Make sure you wear all your protective gear, including safety goggles. Fortunately, I have glasses on, so it would have hit my glasses. I have a big enough lens, it would have hit them. And not my eyeball, but that would have been an interesting time. I think it scuffed the front of it. Let's see. Oh no, it's more just the bubble inside. Okay. Cannot hold on to that one apparently. I'm gonna need another paper towel. But look at those. See, aren't they pretty? Those are cool too. Goodness. Alright, we've got 4 more. Let's get another piece of paper towel. Some fresh water on. Paint pen, rub off, back. thick, sort of. I'm guessing rub off back, sort of. Like I was trying to say, well, it kind of was rubbed off, but not really. Okay. This ended up kind of hefty. See, just scare myself more than anything. Those are pretty too. I'm gonna say that about all of them. I'm just, you know, I'm admiring my own work. Not biased at all, y'all. Maybe, okay, maybe just a tad. I'm a tad biased. Just getting this around that hole was pretty roughed up. So I wanted to smooth that out just a smidge on it. Alrighty. Let's see these ones. Oh yes. I think these ones are pretty. I don't know if I love, I mean, I like the purples and these. You can't do that. I can't hold them that way. I do like them. I just don't know if they strike me as well as some of those ones do. Okay, here's my honest opinion. Alright, we've got 3 more. These are paint pens, thin into resin. Yeah, these have definitely vibrant colors. Let's go to 2 because I don't want the battery power to stay at 1. A lot of times I don't need to go to the higher levels on this unless it's like a coaster or something that's got real thick edge of resin that's hardened, but where we're pretty not fully charged at the moment, we need a little extra boost. Okay. This one has a big lip going. That's just coming off. Goodness gracious. Yeah, so you can see I totally touched my finger there. There's more tickle feel than anything. So that's good to know. Maybe I won't become too terrified, but I don't want to become complacent either. And that, oh yeah, I like those. It'd be interesting to see if I like the in resin or the rubbing it off the back ones. The rubbing off the back I think are more muted coloring. Okay, marker, resin hardened first, then rubbed off. Well, these ones are pretty bright to me. So the rub off didn't really mute those ones. hold these little ones. They're just so tiny. And they are kind of a weird geometrical shape because of the 3D-ness of them. So they aren't like perfectly square. And so it's just like I just struggle. Okay. Well, one way to trim your fingernail is to Dremel it. I don't think it really trimmed it, but you know. Definitely could if you wanted to sand them down. Oh, those are pretty. Alright, we got one more pair to do. I like the colors on those. These ones could be really worn either way. Kind of like them that way. With the dots. It's fun. Alright. Let's. Marker, thick paper, added while resin is wet. While it's wet. Alright. Let's get these ones dremeled up. Then we're done with dremeling the edges. I'm so excited. Okay, last piece to go, which is good because my hand is vibrating. Of course, this one has a mess of resin on it. You definitely hear it working to get all that off. This is going to be a pain right here, this corner. Okay, I think we did it. Yay. It feels good to have that done. Yeah. I don't know. I was thinking about it while I was dremeling there. Like, do you do all your dremeling at one time? And then, you know, do you stockpile to do all that? I don't know if I could do that because it's pretty boring to me. The dremeling part, I'm like, I don't know if I would want to sit there and just dremel for hours. No offense to y'all, but maybe if I was listening to a podcast or watching something on my phone, I could zone into getting it done and also, you know, be entertained with something else so it's not so just drawn out. But for the sake of content, we've got to show it. Ooh, this, I remember this one. is one of my favorites. Oh, it's so pretty. I can't wait to get it finished up. That's gonna be stunning. Okay. So again, that was just water. You could use your rubbing alcohol, but you know, water's free. So that's all you need to wipe that up. It's just water. I am gonna plug, well, I'm probably not gonna plug my Dremel in because it's gonna sit overnight and I don't like that. But yeah, we are so much closer, y'all. So I guess this will be a 7-parter because yeah, this stuff takes time. But hope you guys are enjoying it, and like I said, stay tuned. We've got more coming, some fun, exciting things. All right, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.